don't know. I don't know. They were down a man yesterday. They had to get a sub, so I'm guessing they're having trouble getting peeps together for their team, possibly. You know, something along those lines would be my guess. Is that they don't want to compete without their whole crew. All right, so starting off, we got Noodles right now. Game 1 of the ESL Sunday Kickoff Cup. And this is the third week that ESL's done this tourney here. I'm SuperBadJuJu, be shoutcasting today. And they're on Wraith Trap right now. And pretty standard start. I mean, most monsters will try and pick up some of this big meat right in the beginning here. Can't go wrong when the trap draws come to you and give you that extra 3 meat too. It's always a nice thing. Noodles always been a really good Gorgon player. Has been playing EK quite a bit lately, and I've been impressed. He's been doing a good job. However, he's up against the Hunter side of Beat the Meaty right now, and last week Beat the Meaty had a pretty good showing, so I think this should be a pretty good matchup right here. As far as team comp goes, they are running Kyra, but they have a Hank, so I mean, that's my preference. I always prefer that if a team's going to take a Kyra, that they run some sort of, what's the word I want? Some kind of support with good shielding and stuff like that. Because Kyra's, compared to some of the other medics, she's like, it's funny, like, she's the only one who can actually, like, heal herself, but if you compare her to, like, let's say, Rogue Val, who's indestructible, or even OG Val, she has, I think, more, like, monster CC and stuff like that, so. But let's see how it goes here. I mean, I think that they have a pretty good team comp. They have pretty decent damage just by virtue of having Abe on the team as well as Hyde. And first dome is going to come down. We're seeing Noodles right now attacking and trying to get a hold of Hyde. I guess they got a good little head start on him, but now that they have Kyra in the dome, they're going to swap targets, try and go for the medic, which is a much more valuable target. Although in this situation, honestly, I think that Hank is the one that needs to go first. Anytime you see Hank in the dome, he should be public enemy #1, but some people do get lucky, and if there is a character who can burst down somebody through their Hank shielding, I think that it's, Elder Kraken definitely has the potential to make it happen. Let's go have a look at perks now that we're into the first dome right now. We're seeing Grounder perk on Elder Kraken, no surprise there, as well as damage reduction, pretty standard. Flat damage across the board for Dezu. He's trying to really put that damage out. Hopefully it'll help with that damage reduction that Noodles is running currently. Interesting enough, I'm seeing DR on Hank, which is actually fairly standard. We've actually seen that back in Old Evolve quite frequently, but in Stage 2, it's one of the first times we've seen someone run it in competitive. We've seen people take like maybe one perk before, but rarely take the full double. So, Noodles came out relatively unscathed from that engagement back there, but you'll notice they didn't get themselves any strikes, unfortunately. So, all in all, could have been worse, could have been better. We're seeing the evolve happen. This is one of my favorite spots to evolve, because if they come by and they fight you here, you have a dome ready. You can mitigate, you can dash in circles, stuff like that. So, we'll just have to see. We'll have to see. Nice strike on Chromo there. You see that? I mean, getting a hit with that lightning strike from that far away is always an interesting thing to pull off. That's one ability that, unlike traditional lightning strike, that one can be a bit trickier to aim, because once you place it, that's where it goes, especially if you're using smart casting. Let's go look from the Hunter perspective here. Let's see how their chase is going. Here we're zooming in right now on Unicorn Udders. Yep. Unicorn Udders. They got the Phoenix skin, it looks like. That looks like the Phoenix skin. Tech Sarge rocking that Victory skin. Or not Tech Sarge, sorry. Regular Hank running that Victory skin. Let's go see what the rest of the crew's running here. Oh, hold on. So let's see what's going on here. Looks like the Noodles is kind of pushing them back here, which is smart, because you don't want to get domed over by this bridge. You get domed by that bridge, it's all kinds of bad news. Hunters can really roach hard there. Dezu right now, is that the Monarch one? It's interesting. This was labeled as Monarch in the store, but I always felt that it's the Exterminator skin. That's, I think, what matches it closer if you look at the weapons themselves. We still have Noodles trying to kind of eat up back here, bide his time. I think he wants to bait them back here. I mean, frankly, he's got a good area to fight back here. So it's better for him to brawl with this pillar up ahead than have to contend with the hunters in that open space up there. On top of that, if he goes up towards the hunters, it's a bad area to fight because it's, you know, 2 elevated platforms with a gully in the middle, which is always a pain in the ass for monsters to deal with. And here we see Dezu kind of pushing at him right here, trying to flush him out. We'll see if he takes it, but what I'm curious to see in the next dome is how well Dezu's able to keep up with Noodles. If Chromo does their job, I'm guessing they'll be able to keep up fairly decent. However, with the straight damage, it really means that they got to manage their jetpack perfectly. They got to keep that jetpack going perfectly. And Dezu getting tired of waiting for him, coming in a little bit more. They're just having none of this, man. They don't want to fight back there. And you know what? It's all on Noodles' time. If Noodles wants to sit back there and run the clock, it looks like they're content to let him. Finally, Noodles going to take the bait, going to come in hard, going in on Unicorn Utters right now. Getting a full wombo combo off, but the shields come out from Hank, who, in my opinion, needs to be the first to go. Really good Banshee missile. Looks like Noodles is going to try and shift the field of engagement to the other side here. He doesn't want to fight down there, which was a smart call on his end, trying to push him down. Let's go ahead and have a look at the build here. He is running 1-2-3-1. Can't go wrong with that chain lightning right now. It's a little unpredictable, but it tends to hit everyone everywhere. Orbital comes down, not going to get much, but he is getting a little bit of damage in on Desu. Great chain lightning, clips the whole team, and he is going to get Hank cornered right now, beating on Weaves Aren't People. He is stuck in that death spiral, gets wombo combo, but the lightning strike finisher doesn't connect. Chain lightning does a little bit of damage, but not quite enough, and he's already healing up, but point blank Banshee missile is going to shut him down. However, all of that was at the expense of over 3/4, or rather, 2/3 of Noodles' health. Noodles is hurting and needs to get away, armor up, possibly stage up if he wants to keep staying in the fight here. Let's go back, see how these guys are recouping here. So, I mean, it looks like the team is pushing good damage. I mean, and you got to keep in mind, like, we're looking at an Elder Kraken who is running damage resist for 2 of their perks. So, I mean, they're doing decent damage, all things considered, most certainly. Let's see what Noodles is up to. Alright, Noodles just got Traversal, and honestly, that'll be good for him, but more so, it's good that he denied that to them. That is a great perk for hunters, especially pro players who can make a good use of their jetpacks to begin with. Picking up that Traversal perk right there would have made it so that they could dodge out of pretty much all of his abilities effortlessly. Again, we're having another one of those standoffs, and it looks like Noodles swapped the Traversal perk for cooldown reduction, which again, smart call, because anytime you play a monster, just eat all the buffs, even if you don't want them. It's better to eat them in an order that will leave you with a good buff, but denying the hunters the buffs is also part of the game. And it looks like they're going to have Dezu just kind of face him off alone for a minute, trying to hang outside the dome before coming in, which turned out to be a pretty smart call. They got a pretty good damage head start. It forced him to waste his focus on Dezu there. And Noodles down to bar and a half of health right now. It's not looking good for him at all. But I know we've seen weirder comebacks happen. I don't think we're going to see one here, though, especially with Dezu getting that damage in, showing that they don't need any jetpack perks to succeed in melting faces. And that, my friends, is going to be